We wanted to do a photography and map-making project with high school students in Tambo de Mora, but at first we just stood nervously outside the school, debating whether or not to go in. Finally, we went in, and the principal immediately introduced us to a teacher who said, "No problem. Just come back tomorrow morning." Step 1 accomplished. Time to celebrate. The next day we were nervous walking up to the school. But once we got started, the students were immediately engaged. We split them into groups and asked each group to draw a map of their town. They got right to work in their groups. Some of the students floated between two groups, actively contributing to both maps. Everyone was involved, discussing, looking out the windows to orient themselves in town, where they were, trying to make sure their maps were as accurate as possible, a good representation of their town.
Acá viene el principal, acá está el colegio, acá viene el colegio, acá. Mira, acá está el colegio y allá lo vamos a ver en la casa. Claro.
We made a key for the maps and asked them to identify 3 things. Important places in Tambo de Mora, their houses before the earthquake, and their houses after the earthquake. They kept working. Eventually we tried to tell them, "Time's up," but that wasn't going to happen. They wanted to keep drawing. Once they were ready, we taped the maps to the board and gathered around to look at them. We asked 2 questions. First, describe the most important places on the map. Second, identify the places you want to change, places that were destroyed by the earthquake, and why it's important to change these places. Students had deep, insightful responses. One student talked about infrastructure, the significance of reconstructing streets. Another student talked about how the fractured sports facilities had changed his life. 3 students talked about being displaced in makeshift houses. And 1 student couldn't even use the map. He talked about the post-earthquake trauma that people are still suffering, the need for psychological help. After discussing, we gave the class disposable cameras and asked them to take photos of all these places they had talked about. They ran all around Tambo de Mora, and 3 hours later had used up all of their film on their town. If you click on the various links on this webpage, you can see the photos they took and hear what they have to say.